Have you ever stopped to think about a plant? Not just to see if it needs water, but to really wonder about it. How does a tiny seed, buried deep in the dark, silent earth, know which way is up? It's a simple question that points to something amazing. No matter how you plant a seed, upside down or sideways, it almost always gets it right. The roots dig down, and the stem pushes up towards the sky. Think about a small seedling sprouting in a forest. It's in a race against time, needing to reach the sunlight filtering through the canopy above. Its life literally depends on growing in the right direction from the very first moment. Or picture a potted plant on your windowsill. You might notice that it seems to lean, almost reaching, towards the glass. It's not your imagination. The plant is actively moving to get more light. But plants do not have brains, nerves, or eyes like we do. So how do they sense their environment? How do they navigate the world without a mind to guide them? The answer is not magic. It is a hidden and beautiful form of biology. Plants have two secret superpowers that guide their every move from the moment they are just a seed. These abilities are called tropisms. A tropism is simply a plant's response to an external stimulus, like turning or bending towards or away from something. We are going to explore the two most important ones. The first superpower helps the plant orient itself, even in total darkness. It's called gravitropism, which is just a scientific way of saying the plant can sense and respond to gravity. Inside specific cells of the plant, both in the root tips and the shoots, are tiny, dense packets of starch. Think of them like microscopic pebbles inside a tiny water balloon. These little starch packets are called statoliths. Because they are heavy, gravity always pulls them down to the lowest part of the cell. These settled statoliths act as a signal. They are the plant's internal down arrow, constantly telling it which way gravity is pulling. This is the plant's sense of balance. Now that the plant knows which way is down, it needs a way to act on that information. This is where a special chemical messenger comes in, a plant hormone called auxin. Auxin is a growth regulator. You can think of it as a foreman at a construction site, telling the workers where to build and how fast to do it. When a root is growing horizontally, the statoliths settle on the bottom side of its cells. This signals for more auxin to collect on that bottom side. Here is where it gets clever. In the roots, a high concentration of this auxin foreman actually tells the cell workers to slow down. It inhibits growth, so the cells on the bottom of the root grow much slower, while the cells on the top of the root continue to grow at their normal, faster rate. What happens when one side of a line grows faster than the other? The line bends. The root naturally curves downwards, growing in the same direction as gravity. Now, let's look at the stem. The exact same thing happens. Gravity pulls the statoliths and the auxin to the lower side of the stem. But in the stem, auxin has the opposite effect. In the stem, a high concentration of this foreman tells the cell workers to speed up. It stimulates growth. So now, the cells on the bottom side of the stem get longer and grow faster than the cells on the top side. This difference in speed causes the stem to bend upwards, growing away from the pull of gravity and towards the open air. It's a beautifully simple and effective system. That's the first superpower, knowing up from down. But once the plant breaks through the soil, it faces a new challenge. It needs to find the best source of energy on the planet, the sun. This brings us to the plant's second superpower, phototropism. This is the ability to sense and grow towards a light source. Just like with gravity, the plant has specialized sensors for light. These sensors, located at the very tip of the growing shoot, are particularly good at detecting blue light. When sunlight shines on a plant, The side facing the sun receives more light, and the side facing away is in shade. The plant's light sensors detect this difference. And guess which chemical messenger is called into action again? Our reliable plant hormone, auxin. The light sensors at the tip of the plant signal the auxin to move away from the light. So auxin travels from the sunny side of the stem over to the shady side. This causes a higher concentration of auxin to build up on the part of the stem that is in the shade. Remember what auxin does in a stem? It makes cells grow longer and faster. The cells on the shady side, now flooded with auxin, begin to elongate much more rapidly than the cells on the sunny side. This pushes the entire stem to bend and curve, guiding the tip directly towards the source of the light. This is why a houseplant on a windowsill will lean toward the window. It is actively reorienting itself to maximize the amount of sunlight it can absorb for photosynthesis. If you were to turn that plant around, within a day or two, you would see it start to bend back the other way, always chasing the light. These two systems, gravitropism and phototropism, work together perfectly. One tells the plant how to orient itself vertically, and the other fine-tunes its position to find the best energy source. It's an automated, elegant dance of physics and chemistry, happening silently all around us. So what does this all mean? It means that plants are not the passive, static things we often assume them to be. They have a profound connection to the physical world. They can sense fundamental forces like gravity and essential resources like light. They are dynamic organisms, constantly adjusting and navigating their surroundings with a built-in toolkit that has been perfected over millions of years. This is not a conscious intelligence like our own, but it is a form of environmental intelligence that is just as impressive. Next time you see a field of sunflowers all facing the same direction, or a tiny sprout pushing its way through a crack in the pavement, you'll know the secret. You will know about the tiny starch pebbles settling in its cells, and the invisible flow of hormones telling it where to go. You are watching a living thing have a constant, silent conversation with the forces of nature, using a language of chemistry and physics. Plants are not just growing. They are actively navigating their journey through life.